Tell me about this divination magic of yours. Divination is not your strong suit. However, there is a logic at hand here, one you could untangle.
The divination school of magic is the esoteric art of reading drawstrings, either to make deductions about the present or assumptions about the future.
Interesting way to put it. Divination is the school I'm least proficient in.
I'm the opposite. It's the one I got drilled into loving more than anything.
Her gaze lowers down, her bright eyes widening as she stares into the soup goop.
Legend says Jaw's realm is a bit special, though.
Oh? What do you mean?
Fate.
She picks up the giant spoon and stirs the pot.
From anti-Cepalian knowledge to extraplanar excursion, it is clear Jaw made our world a bit different. If you believe the legends, then magic is supposed to be channeled through webs, interconnected ley lines, spun into the fabric of each material plane. Here, our ley lines are more like little bumps, nodes, not so connected, as much as they, well, bump into each other.
Strings that through time?
That's one way to put it, yes, if you want to get all metaphysical about it. The practical outcome of this is, if you trust the accounts of arcanists, who apparently went on excursions to other worlds, quite simply that, well, divination is powerful and difficult. Some would argue the most difficult to learn. I'm not just tooting my own horn here. It's really tricky.
They said the same at the towers, yeah?
Good. Wouldn't want them spreading misinformation.
The hagling tosses some tiny bones out over the cauldron. They fall, then don't. You see them floating in place above the surface of the sludge. Knuckle bones. She cackles.
Perhaps you would like to attempt it yourself?
Yeah, let's do this.
Good. A cleric would naturally find this fairly easy. I could also offer a bit of a bargain if you were interested. I am in need of some resources, and I imagine you might be able to get your hands on some.
What kind of resources?
I need 5 apples, 3 swamp extract, 2 cardamom treats, and a more pie. Pronto.
Okay, that's a shopping list. I will get you these right away. I'm not going to get you some random groceries. That's a shopping list.
More or less, yes. Although, skip the apples and the swamp extract. And the cardamom treats. No need for that. It was just a craving.
Look at her.
Just get me a more pie if you can. But, of course, if not, you can still try reading the bones on your own. I'd love to see if you can do it.
Where do I get a more pie?
Oh, they're quite rare in Norwich. Only few specific bakeries know how to make them. And, of course, Rick's always has a few in stock.
Why don't you ask Rix yourself? The hag groans.
Look, she's already annoyed enough as it is having to smuggle other stuff down for me here. So please, get it from her, will you?
How do you make them float like that?
Ah, it's the heat.
Oh?
They're taken from an ice devil. It's like magnets. They really don't want to get too close to any major heat source.
So it's like a magnet?
Yes, cleric. It's like a magnet.
She rolls her eyes. I mean, I have a +6. I just need to roll a 10. Come on. There we go. You stare at the bones, but nothing. No insight, no esoteric understanding. They're just bones. Unless? Close your eyes. Okay. Now reach forward above them. Reach forward to the strings. You see or feel strings. They tangle around the bone, connecting with you and the hag. Ah, yes, augury. Far above the bones, the strings appear to fade away, but they are far. That is fate. The bones read into the strings. Weal and woe?
Oh, yes.
Open your eyes. You're met by the sight of a hagling doing a little dance.
That's it. You can see it. Not many can learn so easily, cleric. I'm impressed.
Divination and soup. There we go. Did something happen? What? What did I do?
You got the vibes, that's what.
She hands you a piece of torn paper with instructions on it. Read the title out loud. Augury.
It's no true divination, but it is of the divination school. Casting it allows you to see an outcome in the near future. You will either receive a weal or a woe.
Good or bad outcome?
Yes. So you'll know with a bit more certainty what your next action will result in. Of course, it sucks getting a woe. That means you'll most likely screw up your next activity. But I suggest just getting it out of the way in that case, biting the bullet, so to speak.
I'll try it out, thank you for guiding me.
No troubles. Just fun to see you touching the esoteric here. Make sure to read the instructions properly so you don't mess it up with a bad reading, okay? Okay.
I don't need the knuckle bones, or?
Nah, this is just the fell tire method, my personal favorite. You could do it with anything somewhat weird and or fancy. Some people like cards, others throwing darts. I knew this one guy who would cut the head of chickens and have them run around like a little makeshift arena.
I think I've heard of that guy. What? Fairly sure it was in the papers.
Ghoul friend. Yes, I believe he set up shop up in Verdun somewhere. Terrible person. I hope he's dead by now. Anyhow, just flip a few coins or something. That'll work fine. Now, if you don't mind, I've got some stuff to handle here. So unless you want me to make a one for you, are we done here?
What kind of work do you do for the Free Striders?
A little bit of everything. Bodyguard gigs, readings, locating lost objects, information gathering mostly. Sometimes they pay me to stand by and look intimidating. Hags have that effect on people, apparently.
She says with a grin. What kind of bodyguard gigs?
Oh, all kinds. Some of my early freestrider work in Reeds centered mainly on just following around certain key revolutionaries. One of them was Trade Prince Frederick Moonwatch, a real dumbass. Got himself into trouble all the time.
Moonwatch, the name of a high corporation in Thazan, Reeds. One of the largest industrial conglomerates across the coast.
His cousin Mary is worse, though. A real clown, especially after his books got so famous.
You worked for the Moonwatch family?
Yes, for a while. But believe me, there's nothing so very special about them. Just a bunch of rich people who got lucky, not losing their heads during the revolution. Here in Norvik, my job usually involves guarding top-ranking agents. In the palace, mostly. Quite boring. There was a time of excitement, but when your god died, 10 or 15 years of chaos, but that's mostly calmed down these days. Even this election isn't as rowdy as those days.
I wouldn't know. I was very young during those days.
Right. You're about 27, aren't you? Must have been interesting to grow up in such troublesome times.
I enjoyed it. Chaos is awesome. It's good that order has returned. Interesting is an interesting way to put it. I'll go with that. She cackles. Readings?
Yes, fortune readings. In the past, the Free Striders used to be more interested in reading the room on various economic policies and deals. These days, they don't do it as much. I think they've realized magic isn't what it used to be. So these days, my fortune telling is a side hustle. I try to stick to only that. Folks see a magic hut with chicken legs and assume the lady inside can help them with all manner of things. But I'm no psychoanalyst. I just tell them how the strings align. And no, I don't offer blood bargains or esoteric solutions.
Why not offer bargains? Sounds lucrative.
Too messy. A scorned woman comes to ask for me to remove her unfaithful husband's balls. I do it because honestly, why not? And all of a sudden, I have a ballless man screaming outside my door with the Earth God right behind him. And in most city-states, they have rules about bargains like that. So I can't even take away something from the lady most of the time. Otherwise, it would be fun to do some Faustian shit.
Psychoanalyst?
Yes, like that mind healer on Waterlane, the halfling. He visited a few times when I was stationed on top of the AR Strange Fellow. I like him.
So no customers down here, I assume?
Correct. It's very empty in the city below. Unless you count monsters. I had to slay a hook horror to clear out this cavern. The young hook horrors are very cute though. Maybe I should tame one of them. Could do for a great familiar. Anyway, I'm rambling.
Have you located anything cool? Some ancient artifact?
Not really. It's mostly lost keys. Although a while back, they used to bring me along on expeditions into the city below and have me locate a bunch of old cat or snail artifacts with fancy names like Hoj Initak and Reburaka. That was fun, but would you believe they never found a single one of those artifacts?
So you got paid for going around and telling people, nope, it's not here?
Yep. And boy, did I get paid well.
She looks delightfully content. So you're a spy?
I like that.
She grins.
I like that title. The Free Striders tell me not to use it for obvious reasons. But yes, I like that.
Tell me about the Free Striders. Oh, that's all about the Free Striders, sorry.
Anything else?
What's up with the chicken leg house?
Dancer.
Pardon?
It's his name. The hut is called Dancer. It was a gift from my mentor when I joined my first mega coven, but we've been buddies for longer than that. Ever since the Battle of Thazan.
The Battle of Thazan, the battle that determined the end of the Coast War, on the 14th of Cronus, 481 AE. This was the day the Arcanists fell, truly fell, and have not risen since.
Dancer has been with me through it all.
The Battle of Thazan?
You know, the single most deadly battle since possibly the Gate War.
That one.
When I travel, Dancer stays the size of an acorn in my pocket. Very convenient. Then I'll pop him up in some run-down apartment block, unkempt park, or convenient cavern like this. Very easy, very affordable.
Pat the wall. Yep, sturdy too. The walls shake.
Calm down, Dancer. It was a compliment.
She cackles.
Anyhow.
Point towards the dancing goblin in a cage on her shelf. Where is it? I don't see it on the screen. Is that smarter?
Ah, so that's his name.
Oh, up there. Snell leans in and squints towards the tiny creature in the almost as tiny cage. Huh. Won't you look at that?
No worries, I'm not torturing him for fun. It's revenge, you see.
Ah well, then it's okay, be sarcastic.
It's not even really torture. It's just an induced state of dancing. It'll go away in a bit.
Stare at her. He looks like he's having fun. The haggling sighs.
Let me explain. Somehow he found his way down here and knocked on my door. Not so unlike yourself, and well...
He tried stealing stuff in an overtly brazen way.
Ah, I see there's a pattern emerging here.
Less of a pattern and more like a fucking mosaic, but yeah, he's got some issues. She rolls her eyes.
By the time I told him to leave, he'd already stuffed his pants full of potions. So to make sure it doesn't happen again, I'm teaching him a lesson.
Via forced dancing in a cage?
You make it sound so brutish. I'm really doing him a favor.
How do you feel about this, Snell? Might be good for him, but I suppose we should advocate for his release. I mean, if you find the energy for it. Please let him go, Lisa.
Fine.
She waves a hand towards the cage. It flings open. The moment she does, the tiny goblin is flung across the room towards the door, his body growing back into its original size, hitting the door, then the ground. There he goes. What? What happened? It's okay, Smarter, you're free now. Your normally empathetic companion says the words with no enthusiasm. Hey, Smarter, Suddenly the goblin screams, pointing towards Lisa. He lets out that howling shriek with a deep primal fear in his eyes. A hag! Smarter then springs up, twists the handle, smashes the door open, and... he runs away into the night.
I hope you're happy.
He won't come back here. Not really, honestly. I feel kind of queasy. I did a good thing here. That makes me good and heroic. There should be a word describing how good and heroic this action was. Like good-roic or heroed. He won't come back here.
Oh, really?
Smarter isn't one to hit the same place twice. You won't see him again, I swear.
All right, I'll take your word for it, Goblin.
The room grows quiet as Lisa keeps stirring her pot.
Anyhow...
it's getting a bit late. Can I sleep with you? I don't really want to go for that. Can you read my fortune?
Of course. While it's not my main source of income, some on-demand divining helps fill up my coffers quite nicely.
How much for the divination?
Normally, the compensation costs of a divination is 100 crowns. So I charge upwards of 300.
Not too bad. I've seen witches charge upwards of 1,000. Material component costs for spells are fixed to a certain point. That means most currencies that contain a certain amount of precious material can be used directly for component costs and are not affected by inflation or deflation. I can't afford that. She chuckles and empties a pouch of coins on a nearby table.
Don't worry, it's on the house.
She's not truly altruistic here.
You could get one too, little buddy, if you please,
she says and winks at Snell. No thanks, I'm good. But I can't wait to see what the cleric's fortune is.
I kind of want to see it as well.
A hag? Giving away fortunes for free? What have you gotten yourself into? That's very kind of you. The hag begins humming a shrill note. It causes you to cease. Your muscles, they freeze. Stirring, burning.
Men seek pleasure, fools seek gold. Vain dreams in mortal flesh are told.
Her words enter your ears smoothly. The shack, it grows darker.
Yet 'tis the old world stars with secrets deep that weave the fades while spirits sleep.
She slams the table and the coins fly into the air. As they do, they begin to float. slowly breaking apart into tiny chunks. The cost has been paid.
What lies ahead, what paths unfold, for those who seek the power of old. By claw, by fang, by stone and fire, grant me sight of his desire.
On her last word, the broken floating coins evaporate before the hag. She lets out a high-pitched cackle. What a show.
I've always loved that part. Anyway. You know how this works?
No clue.
Don't worry, it's pretty self-explanatory.
She tosses out a glittering powder in the air. It illuminates several strings. Actual strings. Looks. Little dotting sparkles.
Think of a single question you want to ask, and I'll see what Destiny has to say about it. But first, I'll just take a look at your...
Strange, the hag frowns. What?
Most people do not have so many strings. Strings of jaw. Usually I'd be able to read the outcome of 1 or 2 choices made within the next week or so. Of the average chap. But you have... oh gods. You have thousands of strings, each connecting to your body like tendrils of... like a lot of tendrils.
Is that bad? Am I dying?
No, it's more like... I haven't read a cleric in a long while, but this is clearly...
She stares wide-eyed at the strings before her in the air.
This is a divine connection. You're blessed, buddy.
In what way?
Have you experienced any esoteric events in the city lately?
I mean, we were in the anti-gravity bubble. Yeah.
This might be why.
The haggling scoffs.
Not sure how good of an answer I'll be able to decipher when your destiny's all tangled and frizzy like that, but I will try. Have your question be something specific, like ask for the outcome of a goal or event or activity. The closer in time, the better the answer.
It is always a danger to play with fate. A true life is lived in the moment, divining only from your heart and those around you.
So, what do you want to ask Destiny, buddy?
Does this have anything to do with me falling into the river? No, your destiny has always been a knot. You know that in your soul. What should I ask, Snell? Maybe ask why your destiny's all screwed up. But I don't know. I'm not the magic man here. If my destiny is messy, does that mean I'm in trouble? Often, yes. But more than anything, it means your path has not yet been decided. My question is... what should I vote in the election? How should I solve the mystery of the tea shop that blew up? Why is my destiny so messy? Who should I pursue romantically? How should I solve the mystery of the tea shop that blew up? Lisa closes her eyes and touches the strings in the air. They fade away as she does.
Follow towards the flip to the base of the gate, till the caged scribe spins his yarn. Heed not the more among the pipes, delve instead far, to the realm beyond their true choice shall gleam, to die a hero or rise supreme.
She opens her eyes.
Interesting. Sounded almost like a guide, didn't it?
Towards the flip?
The flip must mean the gravity flip. So go down. That's how you solve the mystery, buddy. That is your fortune.
Great, got it. Thanks.
You're welcome. As to the chaos of your strings, I will do some research. Really, it might simply be your biology. Some individuals are blessed, cursed, with all kinds of esoteric might, insight, degeneracy. Who knows? You might be a sorcerer yourself, not too unlike us hags.
She cackles wildly whilst making some notes in a little handbook. You are no lowly sorcerer. Can you make me a wand? She sighs.
That wasn't a real offer, you know, but...
Whisper to Snell, hags are the best. Go on.
But I can make an exception if you run an errand for me. I'm out of lingonberries, and if you were to get me some, I would gladly share a piece of my current brew to make you a temporary wand. Since you are so inclined into the occult now,
blasphemy, as long as it's not a hexing wand, then it would be lovely to wield. If I have time, I'll go look for some.
Lovely. If you do, you'll only need a handful, a dozen or so. Now, the problem is the Tolstad markets were pretty much out last time I checked, and they probably won't get resupplied properly until next week. There might be frozen lingon to find around the city, but I can't guarantee that. So don't worry, I don't expect you to find any, but if you do, you know where you can find me.
Can't I go pick some fresh berries?
Sure, if you want to try to head out into the closest deep woods, which would be Trollskogen. Trollskogen?
I mean, that sounds Swedish. I don't know exactly how to pronounce Swedish.
But that's a full day's trip.
Trollskogen, a small forest located west of Norwich. It is infamous for still having a small clan of green trolls living within its borders.
Other than that, well, closest to here would be Upper Hollow Ridge.
I could find that. Where is it?
It's below the below, cleric. Very dangerous. I do not recommend it. But if you do, there should be a hidden pathway, or there should be hidden pathways all over the place leading down there. I don't know any here in the Tolstad tunnels, but I'm sure you could find some. Good luck.
She cackles. But wait, isn't this a quest?
Fetch.
So I can't mark it down as a quest or anything? The haggling looks around her. The bubbling cauldron is the only sound you hear for a few moments.
No, I feel this is more of a non-official thing, if that's alright with you.
You get it. If it's called a quest, then there's a bunch of city rules that goes into it. But if she calls it a task and asks you to go, just go pick up some lingonberries if you have time, then it'll be a whole another legal ballpark.
But do go find some lingonberries if you have time.
Can I have your spoon?
My spoon?
Yes.
You want this old wooden spoon?
Not hard.
This old wooden spoon that I use for my brewing? The one that has no special wondrous and or magical attributes at all?
I think you're underselling it, honestly. The hag sighs.
I won't stop you, but I'd prefer to keep it.
That's all for now. I'm not gonna take her spoon. She can keep her spoon. It's fine. I have some decent items if I want to revamp my my stat spread. I think I can do without it. She prefers to keep it. I will come back eventually to talk to the cat. Let's take a look at the questing tree after this long conversation here. Okay, so this is Strings of Divination completed. Very nice. You love to see it. A freelance hag is completed. This isn't completed yet. Okay. We can find a way further below. I suppose that is probably what we should go for. I will turn the light back on. It was at the fire corridor, I'm pretty sure. And I think we have a pretty quick way to get back there. I think. Oh wait, was this too far? Oh yeah, it was entirely the wrong direction. That's the problem. But we gotta go back through here. And then through here. Yeah, that's it. That's it. Okay. And this leads to the fire corridor. Paw prints, yes. Where was the one I had to... This one. Let's behold it. Yep, secret passage here.